Hello, good evening. You are watching Rappler Talk. My name is JC Gotinga, and we are very honored and privileged this evening to have with us the star of a new play that's going to be playing here in Manila. It's called Tiny Beautiful Things. And the star of the show, Miss Iza Calzado. Hello, Iza.
Hello. Habang inaayos ko yung...
Habang inaayos ang manggas.
Hayaan mo na. Nagbago isip ko.
Yes.
Magandang gabi, JC.
Magandang
Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat na nanonood nito. At kung mapapanood nyo to, magandang umaga, magandang hapon. Anong oras man ninyo mapanood ito? Hello.
Hello, thank you for being here at Rappler.
Thank you.
So you are part of a play.
I am.
It's called Tiny Beautiful Things.
I am.
Kamusta? How are rehearsals coming along?
In a nutshell, fulfilling. Challenging, definitely. So dapat pa rin nauna yung challenging, but also fulfilling. Very inspiring. Exhausting.
I bet.
And fun. Fun.
Great to hear.
Yeah,
Great to hear.
Yeah, fun. Right now, kasi we're in the thick of things, it's very exhausting.
Yes.
Kasi next week, we do tech run, and then next weekend, we open. So, nakakapagod, pero alam mo yung naisip mo, like, sobrang worth it.
Tell us about the show. So it's called Tiny Beautiful
Yeah.
Things. It's by the Sandbox Collective. So ang naalala natin, one of the big hits of Sandbox is Every Brilliant Thing.
Yes.
So not to be confused with that play, this Tiny Beautiful Things, it's new here in Manila. This is going to be the premiere.
Yeah.
To the extent that it's not going to be a spoiler, tell us about the play and the role that you play in it.
Okay. Tiny Beautiful Things is based off of the book. The same title by Cheryl Strayed, which was adapted into a play by Nia Vardalos of My Big Fat Greek Wedding. So, premise is there's an advice column called Dear Sugar. And so this is a compilation of the letters and the response of Sugar. So, it's basically as random as things like, you have a classmate, you're stuck in school. Kasi may letter sender na bata.
Cute.
May letter sender na mabigat yung pyesa niya, yung pinagdadaanan niya. So it can be as light as a kid who is lost. I mean, ganun, kasi it's online eh. So siguro, let's say it's 10-year-old kid or an 11-year-old kid has access to that, or somebody going through a marital affair, or somebody who lost a loved one. It's really, basically, it's life in letters.
Right.
Yeah, so that's the premise.
Right?
Yes, online. So it's a roller coaster ride. That's what I'll say. And when I read it, na parang, yeah, this is life. Of course, not everything you fully understand, but you get it. The highs and lows of life, left, right. Alam mo yun, yung saan ka dadali ng buhay, hindi mo talaga alam. Yan.
And here you play Sugar.
Yeah, thank you. You did ask that. So in this play, I play Sugar, and who accepts the job, even if she was not in supposedly like the right place to accept it. She wasn't really, she was still a struggling writer at that time. The book Wild hadn't been published yet because Cheryl Strayed is the author of Wild.
The one that starred Reese Witherspoon.
Yes, that's
right?
correct.
Yeah.
She was still doing the book at this time. So she took it on, but maybe it excited her. She was a fan of the play itself, of the column. And she took it on. She wrote anonymously. What happened is that she was writing from such a deep and sincere place that it took on a different form, and naging massive yung following ng column. So that's who I play. I play AKA Ma'am Charo, lovingly yours Helen.
Yeah.
Ako na po ang bago ninyong
The dispenser of good advice.
Good advice. I don't know if I'm in any position to do that as myself, but as Sugar, I am.
How do you connect to the play? I mean, saan ka humuhugot to play that role?
Actually, it's a lie when I say that I don't give advice. Maybe it's because of age. People turn to me for advice. And like Sugar, like Cheryl Strayed, I only come from my personal experiences. And I only know them because I've made mistakes myself. I've been wronged. I have wronged people.
Yeah.
And from the lessons I've learned, that's the only thing I share. I don't impose. I always say that, na parang, this is all I know. So maybe this is why the play resonated with me. And perhaps also, somewhere there, parang when I talk to somebody, iba kasi pag anonymous.
Right.
That freedom that Sugar has, that to write, but also the freedom of the one reading without there's a line there in the play, without the barriers.
Right.
Diba? Na you're not judging my words because you don't really know who I am.
Yeah, sometimes, no, like there's that parang the connection falls into the universal stratosphere because hindi kayo magkakilala eh.
Hindi eh.
So you're tabula rasa to each other, no judgments, no? Parang ganun.
Hanggang beautiful din talaga siya.
Yeah.
So yun, it's to me a very moving and healing piece.
Wow.
But it depends how you take it though. So maybe that's how I take it, but I hope that's how most people will take it.
How did the play come to you? I mean, the selection, were you part of one of the drivers behind this production?
Yeah. So last year, Toff de Venecia, one of the founders of the Sandbox Collective, messaged me and said, "Iz, it's our 10th anniversary next year. Do you want to do a play?" Ganun ka casual. And I said, na-inspire. Bagong panganak ako nun eh. Mga siguro, mga June last year. So sabihin natin 5 months yung anak ko. Ganyan. I want. Tapos inisip ko, gosh, nasa kapasing mo? Financially, nasa ba ako? Yung gano'n.
Tapos may bago kang anak.
Bago. Hindi ko alam, pero sige, parang baka.
Right.
Hindi ko alam. And I thought it was going to be earlier this year. And, surprise, it's going to be Q3, Q4. But when I said yes to doing a play, so he sent me over a first play. Nasa ko, wow, acting piece. Totoo, wow. But I didn't really, hindi siya kumabit sa akin.
Right.
I didn't resonate with it so much. But I knew it was going to be like a fabulous play. Yung ganyan, yung acting piece. Ganon.
Prima donna.
Tapos inisip ko, it was People, Places, and Things, which is a really good play as well. But maybe I'm just not in that headspace to do that now.
Yes.
Maybe one day. Because I could see the power of the play also. Then he sent me this. I was reading it. I would be crying. I'd be so... And then suddenly laughing. And then crying. And then amused. And then parang... Sabi ko, hanep to. Sabi ko, I think, Toff, maybe this is it. Yeah, and then you're like, and then before we had a reading, I'm like, did I choose the right material? Is it, alam mo yung parang, syempre may ganun ka. And then we're like, what if it's boring? What if I didn't know how it was going to come about? Because it's literally letters.
Yes.
And of course, when you're reading it, iba. But I said, what if people don't like it when you're just reading letters to them? And then we discovered it's not. They are scenes.
Yes.
You're not just reading letters. You're talking to somebody.
Yes.
So, yeah.
You know,
I hope you don't mind. I'm going to have some water.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
Tubig lang po, tubig break.
Naman,
Sige lang, magtanong ka lang.
Yes.
Okay lang po ba?
Oo nga, medyo mahirap magsalita ng matagal. And that's the thing. Okay, so I actually related to what I was about to ask. Many times in interviews when someone who's had success in film or television suddenly takes on theater, there are at least some people who feel like that's taking a step back, you know, na, why are you doing theater? Why do theater when you're this somebody? Is it about the challenge or something along those lines? But for you, what drew you? You know, why were you excited at the prospect? Okay lang. Why were you excited at the prospect of doing a play?
I mean, I understand, like, maybe some people would think that, but, I mean, first of all, for someone like me, I've never had professional training. Like, of course, my training has been time on set.
Yes.
So I clocked in my hours on set. I learned by doing. I never went to school for what I do now. So to me, this is like going to school. This is a discipline that is so different from what we do on TV and film.
Yes.
We get to rehearse over and over again. We get to memorize to a point that it becomes second nature, which we hardly have time to do in this
TV or film,
landscape.
'cause sometimes it just goes very fast.
Sometimes it arrives on the day itself.
The script,
sometimes
you mean?
it is, yes, the script. Sorry. Yes.
The script, yeah.
And sometimes it is changed on the day of, and you're like, what? So it's so different. So I guess part of me, you said challenge, always likes to be challenged. Actually, if you track my career, I went from one network to another, and that is part of me challenging myself.
Okay.
I don't like being complacent.
Right.
There is no growth for me when I find myself doing the same things over and over again. Not that I'm not grateful for certain things, diba? But humahanap ka lang ng growth.
Yes.
And it is not taking a step back. It is actually moving forward. Because this is the next step. And then there will be another and another and another.
Right.
And every step contributes to my evolution as an artist, as an actor, as a human being. So, no, hindi talaga siya step back. Ano siya eh, actually, it's a privilege na tinanggap ako that I am even asked to do a play. That's, wow, what an honor, what a privilege. That's how I see it.
Great.
And there's a lot of pressure, admittedly. Siyempre, di ba? Kasi sabi na, tignan mo nga, kaya ba niya?
No take two.
No take
everything,
two, wala.
Everything in
Wala.
one go.
In one go.
Yes.
Bakal ka, saluhin mo yung sarili mo.
Yes.
But that's the beauty of it as
Exactly.
well.
Yes.
But I also understand it. Not everybody in film wants to do this. Not everybody in theater would want to do film or TV anyway.
Likewise.
Diba? So, I mean, kanya-kanyang trip lang, kumaga.
Walang basagan ng trip.
Walang basagan ng trip. Basta trip ko to.
Bakit ba?
Pero ano siya talaga, ako lang gusto ko ngang hikayatin yung mga kasama ko sa film at TV kung hindi pa na-experience. At kumbagat dumadapo sa isip nila to. If they think about this, try it. I think, try
it. It can be scary, no? Because there's no mediation, diba? It's like, that's why theater nga is actually technically not a medium. Because it's unmediated. I mean, unlike, there's editing in film and TV. There are take twos, If you were having an off day, they can reshoot, diba?
Yeah.
Here, walang ganon When you're on, right?
Yeah.
So you're working here you're a cast of 4.
Sorry, before you go on with
sure.
that, because we talked about experiences earlier.
Yes.
And I think theater is one of those things na kaya malaki yung bayad. Kasi 'di ba, malaki ang bayad ng tickets ng nanonood. Yes. Sa amin hindi masyado. Baliktad
right.
We make way more on TV and film.
Yes.
But the ticket is not as expensive as a theater play. And I think that is because it's live.
Exactly.
And now, even films, you can watch them from your house. And someone might say, hindi, ngayon kahit yung play, naka-record na may nare-record na play, nasa stream. It's a different experience. So, that's why it's priceless also. Even for me, as an artist, the experience is priceless.
Yes, because you get to connect with your audience, right?
Iba
You
siya
feel them
right away. I mean,
Yes.
even in our small room, iba nag-rehearse. And I experienced it nung Sabel nung biglang live na, oh wow, ito pala yun. But this for me is a new challenge because even in Sabel, I did Sabel in 2015.
Yeah, 2015, which is a deconstructed musical, like you said, by Freddie Santos.
Yeah, so the feeling of bouncing off an audience and looking straight into their eyes, because I didn't have a fourth wall then, was so different. But even if I wasn't looking at them, just knowing that they're there gives you nerves, but also a certain adrenaline rush that is so different from, kasi pag sa film, kailangan naman kalmado mo unless the scene calls for it.
Right.
Because iba yung nakaka-capture ng camera.
Yes. So ano nga yung tanong ko?
Sorry, nakat kita. But kasi baka may nagtatanong lang, ba't ang mahal?
Okay lang, we are live,
manonood?
and that's fine. This is a live conversation.
Yeah.
Yun. So baka may questions kayo actually, so do send it our way.
But wag lang math.
Would you do a mathematical play? There are plays that are about mathematicians, ganyan.
If it's a role and I can learn the lines, why not?
For now, advice columnist na muna.
Okay, bumuna ako dito. But yes, if it fits me and I feel that I resonate with it, why not? I'm always ready to take on a challenge. Pero I have to know my strengths, diba? That's and my weaknesses as well.
We'll be watching. You share the stage here with 3 other actors. So it's a cast of 4.
It's a cast of 4
in each performance.
Yes.
And then based on what I read, it has to do with, because I haven't seen this play.
It's because it's premiering in the Philippines. Now, this is the premiere. And it's not, you asked it kanina, it's totally different from Every Brilliant Thing, which is a brilliant play, but it's not a part 2, it is not connected with that play. Different,
just so happens.
Different playwrights, iba talaga.
Yeah. It has to do with, parang, the venue itself is intimate. It's the Power Max Center Spotlight Black Box Theater in Circuit Makati.
Yes, thank you for doing the work for me.
Anything to do to help. Ayun, it's an intimate space. No? So we expect, it's a cast of 4. It's not a huge space, right? So
it's a 1-act play.
Yes, no intermissions.
Yeah.
So how is that? And how is it? How important is, it's letters, right? So how's your dynamic with your scene partners?
Actually, good question. Thank you so much. Napaka-importante yung connection naming 4. Actually, 6 kami total because so you have Gabby Padilla, Ketchup Eusebio, Roddy Vera, and then Regina De Vera and Brian C.
Who
alternate also. But the 4 that you see on stage have to be so connected because it's like almost like a dance. It's like a ride, diba? It's a ride. So, like I said, nung una akala ko, monologues, pyesa, ganyan, letters. But now, it's interacting, may nangyayari. Kapaan kami ngayon. Ang saya. Parang sa sayaw.
Amazing. Yeah. I'm excited to see it.
Thank you.
You're opening on the 16th, right?
Yes.
So, it's crunch time now. How do you feel about? Are you getting there? How excited are you? Are you excited? Nervous?
Of course.
Which percent of which?
I'm currently exhausted. I'm being very honest.
Yes.
But I'm very excited as well. We have Sandbox Night, which is like people get to preview. So we have like maybe 20, let's say, 20 people watching on Friday. So like, that's one thing. But I'm very excited. Kasi nabubuo na ngayon. Now, medyo may mga revisions pa sa blocking, pero like we see it na. And siguro I've already also come to a point na we had one run last week na yung first run with like a few audience, like 5 people watching, which is like, I was all over the place. I was in my head, like, so not grounded. But now, it's like, parang na siyang nalalaro mo na siya. At this point, okay, I can speed it up here, slow it down here. That choice wasn't so good. Yung ganyan, okay, we're trying out things. It's a lot of discovery and it's so cool. That's why I said, like, we don't even get to do as much of that.
Yes.
On film and TV. So now parang, wow, bago talaga lahat.
And that's what makes it exciting, because when you watch, like if you watch the play 7 times, you will watch it's like
different.
7 different tellings of the same story. It in a way it becomes 7 different stories.
Hopefully.
Yeah, because you're telling us now, this choice, you evolve into the role as well, right? Like, and it depends on what your chemistry is on a given night, with the other actors, it also kind of affects the performance. Which actor is doing which role on
Exactly.
on a given performance, right?
So it's ever evolving.
Yes.
So, nai-excite ako isipin siya. Pero syempre, nakabahan ako. Pero kasama yun eh. Kasama, it's same frequency. You just choose actually which one to lean into.
Right. You're directed by Jenny Hamora. The Jenny Hamora.
Yes.
Anong
Gawad
marching orders
Buhay
niya sa'yo?
awardee.
Yes.
Jenny!
And she's an actress
Of
herself,
course.
right?
Kasama ko siya dati. Sa Ang Sayo Ay Akin. Kami naging friends.
Oh.
Pero we also are part of Aktor, which is our group for working actors in the Philippines. Yeah.
Like the closest thing we have to an equity in a way. No? Parang ganon, di ba?
There's also Actors Guild, KAPPT. So there are two that we know of that exist, coexist.
What's Jenny's marching orders or her direction to you? Like, what's your objective now as Sugar? If any that you can share with us.
Be that friend na nagbibigay ng payo. Ganun lang. Kasi minsan nagiging masyadong, parang laging, syempre, teleserye acting ako. Nanginginig ang bagang ko. Hindi, joke. Hindi. So,
that's not what they're gonna see there.
No. Different. Kasi some nga are very emotionally charged, yung response ko. Pero kasi si Sugar dito, she has to come from a place that's so healed that even when she's talking about very painful things, you don't see her breaking down so much. Like, because some very, very sensitive topics are tackled here. But yeah, it was a bit of a challenge kasi mga first pag binabasa namin, wasak talaga eh. Wasak kami nag-run, wasak. So I just have to come to that place na
yes.
Yeah.
Kasi the title itself and also the art of it, the choice of, like, you know, yung look ng production, di ba? It promises to be poignant, tiny beautiful things, di ba? Poignant.
Hirap spell ng poignant.
Ano na lang, touching siya.
Tsaka ka ng chat, ang joke ko.
Yun. So what do you hope people who will watch this will come out with after they see the performance?
You know, a lot of it that's tackled is love, loss, and life. Loss in many forms. So parang, I feel like, I hope that if somebody, when people watch the play, that whatever it is that you're going through or you've gone through, I hope that even if it brings up certain things that you may have to face, you know, that you consider that it be part of your healing. So that I hope that this play helps with the healing journey of that individual that watches the play.
And it's very nice because we were talking before the interview, before we came on, madaming play right now. Many of them are musicals. And it's great. I mean, it's great to see Philippine theater thriving.
Yes.
Shows, musicals are getting reruns. Even straight plays na dati, straight plays, meaning plays that are not musicals, didn't used to be so successful. But even those are in high demand. And now you're coming in. It's the third quarter of the year na ba? Fourth quarter.
Fourth.
And it's near Christmas, right? Parang it's a nice, isn't it? People are gonna be seeing family more in the coming weeks.
Maybe maganda siyang intro, parang bago mo makita yung ayaw mo na mga family member, mahil ka muna ng konti. Because it talks a lot about acceptance, forgiveness. It's a very, very, yes, she really emphasizes that. And I think I resonate with that part of Sugar, with Cheryl Strayed dun. Because that's a big thing in my life. You know, we all go through things, right?
Exactly.
And I think a big theme in my life is forgiveness.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So now that you've mentioned it, what are if you can name just like top of mind, maybe 3 of the top themes that you think will, strike a resonant chord with the audience?
Themes. Marital success or failures. Mayroon yan. Loss of a loved one. And May favorite ako dyan eh, yung she talks about also how to do the work for your own healing. She emphasizes it. And I am a believer in that.
That you play an active part.
You have to play an active part in whatever, excuse me, shit happens in your life.
Yeah, that's
Diba?
interesting, no? Kasi,
you have to play a part in how you resolve it.
Yes.
Sa sarili mo.
It's actual work, no?
It's actual work.
Di ba kasi, sometimes we wait to be healed. You go out, parang yung conception natin ng healing, I go to the beach, wait for my feelings to subside, I'm healed. It's not like that, right?
And then one day, maybe 3 years after that trip, you're faced with it again. Wasak ka na naman, and you're like, but I healed already from it.
Yeah.
No, that's life. I mean, okay, like November to me, I call it my bittersweet November. Because I lost both parents in November.
So sorry.
It's life. But my kuya's birthday is in November. My husband's birthday is in November. Parang, yeah, that's life.
Life has a way of
balancing things out. It takes time, diba? Not everything you'll understand right then and there. And then you also have to let go of certain things that maybe you will never understand what they mean. But hopefully you understand eventually what things mean, especially the painful things. So yeah, biglang lumalim. Oh, babalik ko lang dito. Babalik tayo, babalik.
Tiny, beautiful things.
But yeah, that is it, right? Like the little things, when you look around, when you look at your life, I mean, you have to be grateful for the tiny, beautiful things and not choose to wallow or get stuck in the big, heavy things because there are plenty of them. Yeah. So I think that is the work we have to do. And it's not forgetting and just escaping.
Right.
That's actually more often like coming face to face with it.
Right.
Yeah.
So in a way, it's kind of,
acknowledging.
it's about, confronting it, diba?
Yeah.
The act of writing it down, actually. Writing down, what is this funk ba talaga?
Yeah.
What am I going through?
Yeah.
Diba? The process of even posing your issues as a question to somebody.
That means you're facing it.
Yeah.
And it may take time, to even compose that letter, to talk about it. And there's no right or wrong. Kanya-kanyang timeline talaga tayo.
And choosing the words to... It's because feelings are not words, but when you're now gonna name that feeling, because I need to communicate with somebody, right?
At yun yung si Cheryl Strayed, hanip siyang magsulat. Ito yung feelings ko eh. Ganito ko din sasabihin to, kung ganyan lang ako magsulat. Pero gift niya, gifted siya. Oo.
And then we have you, the company of actors, with you front and center, bringing life to these words by a brilliant author, as you say.
I hope I give it justice. We give it justice. That is our dream. So, but ako, my number one dream is just to really touch hearts. Yeah.
Wow. Well, thank you. On that note, before I let you go,
wala bang mga pa-joke time
ito na yung time that we will pitch our pitches, right?
Serious?
So, Rappler has a new app. It's called the Rappler Communities app. And our ask is, get your news from the app. Don't let the algorithms dictate what news or information come up on your feeds. Take action. Download the app. The QR codes are going to be on your screen. And also, you will be able to find information on the show, where to get tickets, where to watch it, performance schedules, and everything will be there on the Rappler app. Isa, I'm sure you would love to invite our audience. How may they catch Tiny Beautiful Things?
Tiny Beautiful Things opens November 16 and runs until December 8 at the Power Mac Center Spotlight Black Box Theater at the Circuit Makati. Ang hirap.
Good job.
I had to do that kasi nagkamali ako so many times before. And we have basically 5 shows every week. There's a Friday show at 8 p.m. and then Saturdays are 3 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. and same for Sundays, 3 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. We hope that you get to catch Tiny Beautiful Things, and we really, really hope that it helps you, it touches your heart, and somehow heals you
And you're playing Sugar at every performance, right? It's you, no alternates.
Well,
for
that
you.
is the prayer.
Okay.
That is, I just pray for good health for all of us.
Amen.
Yeah,
Amen.
yeah,
Amen.
Yeah.
Break a leg, Isa.
Thank you.
Very much for coming to Rappler and telling us about this project of yours. Anything else that you want to tell us about?
Thank you. Thank you for giving us time to reach your audience and tell people about our play. And yeah, just follow me on my social media at Miss Iza Calzado on Instagram, Iza Calzado on Facebook, and Isadora Calzado on TikTok. That is not yet verified. I'm such a tita.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, but yeah, so I'm on socials.
Yes.
And that's it. So far, Tiny Beautiful Things. Thank you so much, JC.
Thank you very much,
Rappler.
Miss Isadora Calzado, for being here tonight with us.
Thank you.
And that's it for this episode of Rappler Talk. Catch us again next time. Bye. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you, Isa, so much.
Thank
Excited to watch.
Thank